Welcome back to another Take the Lead podcast. I am your host, Tara Chantel. I am so excited to have another bag talk session with Miss Taurea Avant in the building. You are a self-published author of many different books, an international speaker, a business educator, and a coach for so many people across the board. I would love to know what inspired your journey like this.
Well, the first of all, just thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I take it always as an honor when people just want to hear a little bit about me. So I'm so grateful to be here. My inspiration, oh my goodness. I will say that every single space that I've ever gotten into where I've wanted to do something I can contribute it to being around the right people. So, even as a young girl, I remember the first time I saw someone that looked like me that had this luxury vehicle, and he was an entrepreneur, and he was telling me that I could have the same thing. And so my inspiration always is connected to the people that I've been around, which is a huge blessing. Now, the reason why I still keep going is because I get inspired by the people that I work with. The people that I've been able to help to write books, they truly inspire me. I was watching a video just the other day of a young lady whose book came out, and it's called Letters to My Father. And she was playing a song with, Luther Vandross. And I was just like, man, I'm just totally excited and grateful that, I've been able to be in this position. So my inspiration is connected to people.
And it's incredible, all the ventures that you are into, especially with your nonprofits organizations as well, just truly being of service. How do you balance all the businesses that you have created?
Girl, I don't know. I do not know. Listen, okay. Everybody's like, Taurea, you're doing so much. I will say that I will contribute a lot of it to my incredible team. I have some amazing people that I work with. And so having, a group of people being able to outsource work and things like that is very important, to be able to balance out your life so that you can still have a life and still be able to do the things that you've been called to do, your purpose work. So I have a great team. I can only say that to that. Listen. databomb.com.
You make it look easy. You really do. And I love how the importance of picking your team and having the correct tribe to surround yourself by. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about that, the power in your tribe?
Well, yeah, to be honest, it's still been a journey though. I've been hiring and having to let go people for years. And so it's not something that, when you do make a decision, guys, to start, building up your tribe. And I will say, even the people that follow you, right? It can be a challenge, right? Sorry, that was my phone going off. It can be a challenge.
Well, you're a busy woman. I'm trying to just fit in where I can.
It can be a challenge. And so never feel discouraged, in the process of building that. Now, in regards to my tribe, one thing that I'm always wanting to do is making sure that I stay connected to the desires that people have. Because you can't have people to follow your purpose if it's not connected to their purpose. And so that's one thing I'm always just, making sure that I pay attention to. What is it that you want out of life? What is it that inspires you? And so that I can make sure that with what we're doing, it's something when you wake up in the morning, you can feel good about. So building a tribe, it does take, work. And it takes time, and you just got to stay focused on making sure that you're connecting with the people who are connected to you.
Wow, that is truly incredible, especially just business side of things, how you are encouraging people to step into their purpose like this. When people come to you trying to figure things out, what direction do you try to get them to start at?
Well, of course, because I help people write books, that's my main focus. And I don't really try to do different things. I used to, and I found myself being stretched. So I focus on the books. Now, when somebody does come to me, the first thing is I'm trying to figure out, well, what are the challenges that they're having? And how can we find a solution? So if I don't have the solution, I can connect them to someone else. And I think as an entrepreneur, that should be all of our number one things that we're focusing on. Not necessarily the things like I'm extremely passionate about. It's making sure that you figure out, okay, what's the challenge that someone has and how can you solve it? And if you want to build a big business, the person who solves the biggest challenges is the one who has the most success.
Yes, and right now we are in a trying time right now, and people are still trying to figure things out. What advice can you give business owners that are trying to make a profitable business right now in this such high climate?
You got to look at the challenges, look at, finding a solution. And when I say a solution, I mean one. So the thing is that, many of us, we become very addicted to our labor, and we don't even know that we're doing it. And so we're trying to figure out all these different solutions to multiple things. And you find yourself not getting results or getting clients because you're doing too much. So what I would say right now is focus on one solution, just one specific, and the more niched it can be, the richer you will be. And so what is the solution that you could provide to someone? So today there's so many different things. There are so many opportunities. Yes, we're dealing with, some tough times, right? But a lot of people are needing something, and guess what? You can provide it and be able to turn that into a profit.
Yes. And especially with social media, the power in social media. And you are a social media. I look at you as an expert. You know the game right now, especially with the algorithm. But I feel like the algorithm will not block your blessing. What advice and words of wisdom can you get on trying to beat the algorithm right now, what social media has?
Oh, girl, listen, I'm trying to beat it too. I don't know. Listen, that algorithm be getting you. What I will tell you is this. If you want to beat the algorithm, the number one thing is communication, right? So one thing I do know about social media is that, like, for example, if you post something on your Facebook will show that post to the people that you communicate with the most. So that means that you need to be messaging people every single day in the inbox, okay? You should also be communicating on other people's timelines. And so, if somebody posts something, leave a comment. Don't just like it, leave a good comment. Go on to Facebook groups and leave comments there and request new people. Always make sure that your friends, that you're circulating new friends. I use a software called friendfilter.io. That's the website, friendfilter.io. And it allows me to remove people who are not engaging on my posts, because there's no need in being friends with people, especially if you're using social media to build your business, that are not engaging. And so I remove people all the time. And so if you don't engage, you're probably getting removed. And it's not even like a personal thing. It's just, I want to make sure that I'm connecting with the people who need my stuff.
Yeah.
And the same goes with all the social media. So wherever it is that you engage the most, or who you engage the most with, they see that, okay, well, this person probably will want to see their post because they're talking. So we'll make sure to see that. So communication is number one.
Yes, that is so important, especially just to stand out with social media. I believe in just showing love, showing encouragement to people that's on your TL. That is so necessary.
Absolutely.
Tell us more about your book club that you have brought to the people like this.
Yeah, so Book Profits Club is for authors and future authors. And the purpose of the club is to help you to learn how to profit more, how to promote your book, and how to get your book to perform. I see a lot of people that are teaching people how to write books, and I think that is, huge, because I do that as well. But I wasn't seeing a lot of people focusing on, okay, now that you got your book, what's next? And so Book Profits Club is specifically designed to help you with the what's next. And I specifically work with people who are like speakers and coaches, and they're using their books to, bring additional value as well as bring additional clients. So my goal is that, okay, now that you got this book, we've got to learn how to leverage it. Another thing that I always say that people make a big mistake, they write a book to sell the book. You shouldn't write a book to sell the book. You should write a book to sell, okay? Sell, because a $20 book, that's not really a lot of money. Yeah, okay, you could sell 5,000 at $20. That's great, but imagine if 10% of the people that you sold those books to became your clients at $29.97. It's a bigger profit. So you shouldn't write the book to sell the book. You write the book to sell.
I noticed that you said putting your book on Amazon is not a wise decision. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. Tell us about what you recommend for up and coming authors.
So Amazon. So when it comes to Amazon, let me tell you something. I do not believe that you should sell your books on Amazon. There's a couple of reasons. Number one is if you've ever bought something on Amazon, what do they normally do in a couple of days? They start recommending other things. Well, they do that as well with books. So if you buy a book in a specific genre, in a couple of days, they're going to start recommending other people who are in your genre books. They're going to recommend their books. And so now what Amazon is doing is giving leads to other people in your same space. We don't want that, right? Okay. And then number two, they don't even give you the lead. So if somebody buys a book like from your Amazon store or your Amazon book, then they get the information. You don't get the information. Now, if you do have like an Amazon store, which is a monthly fee that you have to pay, then you get the client's information if you set it up so that you actually fulfill the orders yourself. But again, that's another, that's a whole nother situation. You got to pay for that monthly. So I always tell people, like, you should sell your books on your own website. The purpose of you having a book is so that you can get new leads, right? Because remember, we don't sell the book to sell the book. We sell the book to sell, right? And so you want to be able to get your leads. And the third reason is the profits. Like, you don't make no money when you sell your book online, if you on Amazon, but if you sell it on your own website, you can make, $15 or so per book. So, I always share, like, listen, I understand you don't want to fulfill the orders, or maybe you just want them to take care of it. Well, get you, a partnership with a fulfillment center so that you can also still be able to track all the customers that you have, and you can follow up with them. Because the thing is this, the best customer to have is one who has already spent money with you. And so that book is that introductory, offer or opportunity. So I always share, like, don't push Amazon, like, sell it on your own website.
And you have many different books that you touch on to help people and encourage people to get in the direction. I would love to know your thought process and your mindset on the power of reading, how important it is to read.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, well, they always say that leaders are readers, right? And, some of the most valuable information you'll ever find will be in a book. Also, I believe that you've got it. Your mind is always thirsty. Your mind is always thirsty for information, for knowledge. Whether or not you use television or you use YouTube or you read books or whatever it is, your mind is always searching for more. And so if you want to be able to learn things, sometimes what you got to do is go and, feed the mind with books. So, books are great. Now, this is the deal. Most people that actually buy your book won't always read it. The book is designed to be like an introduction or a connection to whatever your higher program or product or service is. And so even if they don't necessarily read the whole book, you want to make sure that you do have something available so that people can have a tangible product in their hand with your services or products and things of that nature.
Yes. Another book that you wrote is about depression.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as we see what the time we are in right now, a lot of people are fighting mental battles within themselves.
Yeah.
How did you overcome your depression?
I always say, I don't think it's something that you necessarily, it's kind of like get over. It's always a continuous battle. And so I always share about that. It's a mental illness. And so when you're dealing with the mental illness, it's not like it's something that you can just, I know some people will take pills or medication and things like that to try to help suppress it. But it's something that you got to continuously fight over, and battle over. And so, now that I know and I understand that I am in control of like my emotion or in control of how I respond, I make it a daily effort to wake up and feeling good and focus on the things that I can be positive about and focus on the things that I can be grateful for. Because yes, if you just focus on all the bad things, it's very easy to fall into a slump. Okay. But I choose to believe and choose to focus on the things that God has blessed me with, even if it's as small as, man, I can breathe today. Because there's people who can't. And so, yeah, man, it was when I went through that particular time of the deep depression, it was some tough times. But I am grateful that I experienced it so that I can help other people, when I know that they're going through it as well.
Yeah, it's just a simple thing. I'm breathing today. I woke up. So now the possibilities are endless right now.
Amen.
It's really that power, that mind shift of being grateful. I truly believe that. Tell us about the principles when it comes to success, because you are truly a leader. You have your organization, of course, Urban CEO. Hey. Tell us more about that as well.
Well, principles of success are simple. Being successful is not as exhilarating or exciting as people think it is, because the process of it can be boring. I always say it's just a series of doing small things over a long period of time. doing the same thing every day, you know, messaging. How many people are you messaging every day? How many events are you attending? How many workshops are you doing? Those are the things that are not as flashy and fancy that people don't always, you know, get excited about, right? But success is really just being consistent at doing those small things, not just one thing. Because yeah, you can have like a great launch, but what are you going to do after the launch? You got to keep on pushing and pushing and pushing. You cannot give up. And so a lot of times most people don't want to do those small things. You know, it's not as exciting. We just want to do the big things, like get on the stage and talk about it. But no, we got to be willing to do those things. So yeah, those principles are important. And then Urban CEO, shout out to all of my Urban CEOs and my ambassadors. And man, I love you guys so much. Urban CEO is a nonprofit, stands for unapologetic, real, bold, action-oriented, and non-conforming. And basically, I wanted to create an organization where we could be like the bridge between the urban community and success, whether it's business, career, wellness, you know, relationships. Because a lot of times, like when I would go to events, I'm not a corporate girl. Like I was in corporate America 1 year. I don't understand a lot of times. Like I was talking to a girlfriend the other day and she was saying some kind of acronym for something. And I was just like, girl, I don't know what that is. Like, what is that? And she was like, you know, no, I don't. Like, I've grinded. I don't understand all of that vernacular or you know, and I found myself going to like events and being in places where people would talk that way and I would feel disconnected and I was confused. And I just would say to myself, you know what, I'll just figure it out myself. And I think we got to remember that, you know, sometimes everybody don't understand what you're talking about and we have to figure out a way to connect. And so that's what, you know, Urban CEO is all about. We have networking events, we have conferences, we have, you know, an award ceremony. We definitely love to highlight individuals who are, you know, making it their business to give back to our community.
Creating that space for us is so necessary, especially Black women. We need that tribe. We need to stick together and see other successful people doing it. It's possible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I just appreciate your time, just taking the time for us today. And I would love to know, what does freedom look like for you?
Freedom for me is really just being able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and with whom you want to do it with. Yeah, man, freedom is not, you know, going out here trying to chase things that other people have or chase the materialistic things of this world. And if you want those things, that's great. But I think freedom is more so just being okay and being in your space, whatever that space is, and being happy with it. I'm just grateful every day that I am in a place of freedom. I don't have to, you know, worry about if, you know, I'm doing something that I don't want to do or being in a position that I don't want to be. And so, yeah, freedom is doing what you want to do, when you want to do it, with whom you want to do it with.
Oh, take your power back. And you also have a book on freedom as well.
Well, yeah, that's the first book, but it's now called A Six-Figure Vision. So it used to be called A Vision to Freedom, and I changed it to A Six-Figure Vision. But yeah, I talked about some principles in that, the things that, you know, got me to the place of just being free. And from mentorship to overcoming your fears, you know, pushing through those fears. Because, you know, I used to have a fear of speaking in front of people. And most people don't believe I did, but I did. You know, I used to get in front of people and literally like, well, who used to say this? Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar? My mind would sit back down. Like I would completely forget what I was talking about. And so, yeah, man, like, you know, being free is also pushing through those things that you're afraid to do. And so I'm blessed to say that, you know, I was able to do those things.
Yeah, you really got to do it afraid. How did you gain the courage to step out, speak to thousands of people, being an international speaker?
I was broke.
Like, it's got no choice.
Just that simple. Like, how did I get broke? Being broke. Let me tell you something. Being broke will make you do some things, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, child, I ain't want to be broke. So, like, the most paid people in the world, they know how to use their voice, right? So, I mean, listen, and to add on to that, what helps is being prepared. So, yeah, I was broke, but also I made sure that I positioned myself to be more prepared for these opportunities. So if somebody asked me to come speak for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm not just up here rambling. I've prepared that talk, and I've practiced that talk. So preparation is key. If you want to be a great speaker, you got to prepare. But yeah, man, listen, you want to make some money? You got to use your voice. I don't want to be broke no more. So, you know, that's what I had to do.
Use your voice even when it's shaking. You know?
Hey, yeah.
Do it. You got to do it. What do you have up and coming right now that we can stay connected with you?
Well, two companies. Of course, we have Book Profits Club. And if you join, you can actually join both of my movements for free for a couple of days. And so if you're already an author or you're getting ready to be one, you want to join BPC. Okay, so you go to bookprofitsclub.com. You can get 7 days for free just to play around and see how you like it. And then we have the Urban CEO Academy. And in that, we're teaching so many different things as well. You know, from like, we have a training in there on starting your own body butter, you know, creating your own body skincare line. We have a training in there on building up your business credit. We have a social media training. So this one is more designed to give you just different ideas that you could have to be able to build businesses and then, of course, get yourself out there. And then Book Profits Club is specifically to help authors promote, profit, and get their books to perform.
I just appreciate you for stepping out on faith and doing what God told you to do and being obedient. Now you're just helping so many people gain the courage to live out their passions and their dreams and making a profit for it.
Hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. And what's your social media so we can stay connected as well?
Absolutely. It is Vision Avant. So Vision Avant is on everything. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. Vision Avant is where you would go to follow me.
Awesome. And one thing to leave us off with, just how you are a visionary leader. Tell us about some words of wisdom of being a visionary leader when people don't see your vision.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'll use my quote, one of my favorite quotes that I made, and it is, vision is the art of seeing what's invisible to others. So don't allow people who do not see what you see to break your focus. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, don't you look left, don't you look right. You must stay focused forward on what God has for you. And at the end of the day, all will be well. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to another Bag Talk session. We are going to meet you at the top.